So I'm going to talk about a very controversial subject that has a lot of debate around it. Then again, that's what I usually talk about in these videos. So I'm going to talk about the whole pro-life versus pro-choice debate. Yeah, going to get lots of hate and debate in the comment section, that's for sure. Anyways, so I'm just going to clarify. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of background information about myself so you know where I'm coming from with my opinions. Now, I was raised in an extremely Catholic conservative household, and I was taught, and I went to Catholic high school and elementary school, of course, and I was taught my whole life that abortion was the worst thing that you could ever do. It was murdering a baby, and, you know, it was extreme pro-life. And I held that as my opinion, like, pro-life, pro-life, pro-life. If ever it came up, the debate, I'm like, no, abortion is wrong. You should never have an abortion. Then I kind of left that conservative Catholic mentality. Um, See, I'm gay, so that wasn't exactly kosher with my upbringing. And so, in getting support for that, I met more people that were pro-choice. And then, but I was still pretty pro-life, but it was kind of changed from being judgmental of those who would choose to, be pro-choice, to being like, well, that's you, but me personally, I'm pro-life all the way. I'm not going to tell you to be pro-life, but that's just me. And then, almost a year and a half ago, I was raped. And my period after that was almost a week late. And in that week, I was terrified that I was pregnant. Luckily, I wasn't, but at the time, I was. I was planning on starting school in 9 months, and I'd already taken 2 years off, and I was so looking forward to being able to go back to school. And I didn't have the money. I was in a bad mental place, as like I'm still going through a lot of mental health treatment and recovery and stuff. So I was in no place to be a mother, and I didn't know what to do, because I I didn't want to kill a baby, but I couldn't have one. And thing is that since I'm gay and almost everyone knows that, I was still in the kind of feeling of my fault, and I hadn't really told anyone about the rape. So, because I didn't at the time, I was still feeling like it was in denial. It was my fault and all this other stuff that it comes oftentimes with rape victims. Once I started talking to people about it, I got positive reassurance that it wasn't my fault and all this other stuff. Um, and the reason why I'm able to talk to about it now without getting all upset is because I've gone through a lot of psychotherapy for it as well, so I've come to terms with it and everything else. Anyway, so I was researching options, and I discovered that there's this abortion option. If you take it within the first like month or two or something like that, it's like a pill or something, and it induces a miscarriage. So it's kind of like the way I was seeing it was flushing out a bundle of cells, not killing a baby, and I was having such a hard time with this whole thing. And luckily I didn't end up being pregnant, so I wasn't put in a position where I had to make that choice, but it did get me thinking and realizing that a lot of these people who are pro-life don't know what it's like to be in that position. And I think about a month ago, I'd seen this post, and it says, a woman wants an abortion, doesn't want an abortion the way she wants a car. A woman wants an abortion the way an animal wants to chew off its leg for freedom. And then I saw something else. It's the reason why it's called pro-choice does not mean not pro-abortion, is because it's it's pro-choice. It is encouraging the ability to choose. And just last Tuesday, on Tuesdays I go to this queer youth group, and we often have workshops about things like this, sexual health, and stuff about, sexual rotations, gender identity, mental health, all this other stuff. So we had this one. It was, there's this thing in Ottawa, Insight Theatre. They are a theater troupe that goes to schools and all these other places and everything else, and they do these kind of skits, plays, and etc. to better teach and explain sexual health, because honestly, sex ed in schools is awful. Anyways, so they had this little one on the whole pro-choice debate, and they had three different actresses. The two actresses and an actor, and showing from different walks of life, and three different ones, they were all pro-choice. One of them decided to give the baby up for adoption. One of them decided to abort the baby through the pill thing that I had mentioned, and the third decided to keep the baby. And at the end of each one is like, that was the right choice for me, because everyone's life situation is different, and so, everyone's gonna have a different kind of outlook or feelings towards it. And part of why I'm making this video today, almost a week after that, is because I saw this post on Tumblr. Let me see if I can just find it now. I should have pulled it up before I started talking. I apologize. I saw this post on Tumblr. Now, a little bit more background information about me. I personally am Wiccan, and you can say whatever the hell you want about that. But, here we go, fucking folders for all my stupid fucking, where's my associates folder? I apologize, as I should have gotten this organized. Is it maybe in here? Okay, I don't know where my folder is. Anyways, it's basically, okay, so I'll try and find the post thing anyways, but here's the thing. I still feel like it's like killing a baby, ending a potential life, sort of, because, for 20 years of my life, that's what I thought. But I saw this thing about the spirit of a baby, because the thing is, again, I'm Wiccan, so this whole spiritual thing's probably a little alien to someone else who isn't part of it, but kind of like the spirit of it, the baby, because the thing is that, and this kind of goes with any kind of thing, it's like, the whole God, Christianity and stuff, like, God knows everything that will ever happen and everything else, so he knows if you're going to have an abortion or not. So, and it's kind of saying, like, the spirit knows that it's not, because it said something about the spirit, kind of just coming and leaving and not really being cemented until birth, or a few months before birth or something. Again, I read it last night, so I'm kind of, ugh. Anyways, and that, it's not, and, because it knows, and it just, and the thing, since, I am Wiccan now, and we do believe in reincarnation, just because unlike Christianity, which is kind of so finite, like, you have this one life ever, that's it, and, so, it's kind of like, it's a little bit more reassuring, like, it didn't go through this life, it went through a different one, and it's kind of a little bit more reassuring that way from a spiritual sense. So, if you are someone trying to, in that situation where you have to make a choice about that, just don't know that you have to, don't worry about what you think is right according to everyone else. Take a look at your life and your situation and figure out what's right for you. Because if you cannot have a baby, if you cannot raise a baby, because the thing is too, that even if, we have the adoption thing, it does mess your body up. Pregnancy will do that. And also, the stigma of being a pregnant woman, if you're not married in some places, if you're young in most places, and all this other stuff, of just having that pregnancy, and that can mentally affect you. And the fact that, like, you're like, there's a baby out there, like, even if you have the visitation thing, or if you don't, like, it kind of, like, thinks, like, and sometimes, like, a lot of times I've heard these stories about these people who, like, they see the baby and they're like, I can't give this baby up, because, that instant motherly, love and attraction, and then that causes even more problems. But that's not everyone, of course, and you can even have set up, like, you can still talk to and see your baby regularly, just being raised in, a different household. Everyone's in a different life situation. Don't judge people because you do not, until you've walked a mile in their exact shoes, not in the shoes of a woman who got pregnant, in the shoes of that person in their socioeconomic placement. And even then, you're not that person, so you don't know. So again, it's pro-choice, not pro-abortion.